Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Redirection with Terri-Karelle. If you are stumbling upon this podcast for the very first time, I'm your host, Terri-Karelle. This podcast is brought to you by MasterCard in association with Heineken 00 and Toyota Jamaica. Of course, MasterCard always reminding us that no matter what life does to us, no matter what we're going through, we must always be grateful for those priceless moments. And of course, Heineken, now you can. And Toyota Jamaica, changing Jamaica one hybrid at a time. And I should know better. And I should know because I drive a beautiful red kitted RAV4 hybrid that everybody knows by the name of Scarlett. For everything Redirection, maybe you're coming across this for the very first time, you can visit redirectionpodcast.com for all of the episodes, all of the blogs. And if there's anybody who you think who has a great redirection story, go ahead, visit the website, send an email, and we will take it from there. If you're sharing across social media platforms, don't be afraid. Use the hashtag TK Redirection so that sometimes I can go find you and see what part of an episode that you possibly found lovely. Besides MasterCard, Heineken, as well as Toyota Jamaica, I have some very special partners, and I just want to thank them. First of all, Tony Aiken, every week comes in, is a bridge between ourselves, my guests, and the deaf community. And if you hear any kiki kaka in the background, that is Tony laughing while the signing is going on. But thank you, Tony, for believing in what I believe in and what this show is all about, which is inclusion. I want to big up my nice big commercial concepts. Every single time our guests come in, they talk about the crew and how professional they are and the energy and the music. And so it goes beyond just the production quality, I think, that you bring. It is the environment that you create. And speaking of environment, come on, Spaces, come on. We have guests looking at my book selection, my art, talking about the aesthetics. Could not have been done without Spaces. Bresche, purposeful and prepared. When all my guests see the pouches that they get in their swag bags, they're all like, Bresche. And then they get the heavy boxes from beauty brands by MDS with Tree Hut, just reminding us that when life gets rough, you still have to take care of yourself, your skin, your body, your health. Without you, no dream that you have will actually be actualized. Go Shore Couriers, thank you so very much for the love. Thank you for the support since last season and this season. And talk about FHC Credit Union coming in, supporting us and reminding us that it is important along our way to be financially responsible. So that being said, let's get into the conversation. Who is coming next? Is the chef who never used to cook, never know him was going to be a chef, had started off on a completely different journey until Redirection happened. Who is it going to be? You're going to have to stick around and find out. Redirection with Terri-Karelle starts now. Top chef, big chef, the man who's here to steal my heart. Durren McLean, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Redirection seat.
Hi, thank you for having me. I really appreciate this privilege.
Now, let me just tell you two things. The way to a woman's heart is through her stomach. And not only did he bring a mango, which people who are a part of my TK tribe know that my favorite fruit of all time is mango. No mango tree in mango season is safe if I am around. But my preferred mango is East Indian. East Indian is better than Julie, but that is not the argument or the conversation we're going to have today. Secondly, on this show, I've asked, and I asked in season 2, if people knew persons who they believe have great redirection stories that can help, other people to navigate, they could email me, nominate somebody, and we would check it out. And you came up as a nomination, a recommendation, because someone said, you're a hard worker, and where you are today probably is not where you thought you would be. So
sounds spot on.
I think at the end of the show, I'm going to reveal who that person is.
Okay.
But talk to us and tell us what it is that you do now. What are you known for now?
Okay, so now I'm known as a premier catering service provider, top chef, as you'd say. Chef. I own and operate Surf and Turf Catering. I'm also a travel chef, so not only limited to Kingston and the rest of the parishes in the country. I travel.
Yeah, a visa.
Visa.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So I got into the catering scene in 2015.
In 2015. Hold on, but you're not going to tell me that yet.
Yeah.
I'm now going to ask you, looking at where you are now, that you can tell me, I have this catering service. It is elite. It is premier. I travel. I seek to create this personalized service based on the taste of my clients. Is this where little Durren was? Is this what he saw for himself?
No. I just saw that I can always make money once I
Once you
put my mind to it. Yeah.
take me back to little Durren, growing up, where you come from, where you hail from, and possibly what were your interests and dreams like when you were younger?
All right. So let's go way back.
Way back.
And make it nice and, spicy. So I went to Our Lady of the Angels Prep.
Nice.
And I always was a child. Actually, I'm the last of three. 9 years later.
Woof.
So I always say that, something special happened that my father wanted to celebrate with my mom. And I'm grateful for that moment. So here I am. So with that large age gap, most of the people around me were older. So I tend to mature quickly.
Yeah.
So I was taking bus to school from age 6. But then it was really safe to do
Correct,
so. Yeah.
correct.
Come off at Mullines Road, go to Our Lady of the Angels Prep, back home again. So from a very early age, I was granted certain privileges as a young child growing up because I could always, think quick on my feet. I was very mature. I earned my keep. So from prep school, went to Arden High.
All right.
And I was always let's just say, growing up back then, you have this show named MacGyver, where that anytime you find yourself in a bad spot, you can always MacGyver yourself out of the situation.
No, hold on. That is no little. Okay, this is for. Well, clearly you did. You did common entrance.
Yes.
Okay, because you had to do common entrance. Because MacGyver was one of my favorite shows, and I think MacGyver was still showing when JBC used to lock off.
Yes.
And the line them used to come up on the
the
TV, and said
pinstripe
no more programming. And MacGyver, even if he was locked up in a room with like a pin. And some random things, he was always able to figure a way out. I loved that show.
So I'm gonna go back to why I made the MacGyver reference. So to earn my keep around the house, I had to do chores.
Yes.
And one of the chores was, clean up the outside. And I had this mango tree, jajuli tree at the front of the house, and every day leaf would drop like crazy. And them days I never have no rake, so you have to pick it up by hand. I was like, you know what? Tired of this everyday thing. I'm gonna climb the tree and I pick off every single yellow leaf. So like over a week I'm catching no leaf, no drop. So it's like my father come out and say, clean up under the tree. I was like,
Nothing to clean up, right?
So I got innovative in how to do the chores. But I became too good at it, where my father said, why should I be paying you? It's your house. And upon hearing that now, I said, all right, I have to find a next way to earn money.
But where did you get that entrepreneurial spirit from? Like everyone says that Jamaicans generally are persons who figure things out. We're problem solvers. We anticipate. We know that there's always a market. But is there any defining moment or even person or influence or environment? What do you think made you that person as young as you were?
I think it stemmed from my mom and my dad. My dad, he drove a cab. My mom, she was a dressmaker seamstress. And at times she used to go to Curious and buy goods and come back and sell. So they were both entrepreneurs in their own right. They never worked for anybody else. I didn't view it that way. I have a mom and dad and they might take care of the house and thing. But I was starting to earn my little pocket money by doing the chores. And then when my dad cut me off, I was like, but me if you can go Burger King or something on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I tried saving my lunch money. Gas take me up nearly kill me. Realized that's not an option. So there was this Woolworth on Constant Spring Road.
Yes.
I went there and them have like crybaby candies and stuff, and I got them and Snickers, and I started buying and selling at school. So that's where I think the real entrepreneurial spirit started.
Yes.
Then now, my brother, he used to work for Air Jamaica when we had Air Jamaica.
Right.
He used to get Bath and Body Works products, Victoria's Secrets, the splashes and stuff, but I used to see them and get a cobweb, like, you never really know if to sell them. So I was getting warm in that field of sales there. I said, yo, you know I can sell them for you, right? I said, all right, I could. I showed how we're going to do it thing.
How old are you now at this time? Like how?
Still in fourth form.
All right.
Fourth form, yeah. And, fourth form I started the candy sales. By fifth form,
You elevate the business.
elevate the business. So when I first got the products, I was like, this guy will have my school bag. So I ditch the Giant Sport and I get a duffel bag. And I remember every door from Arden Road right down to Half a Tree, I walked and I knocked on and I asked if they'd like to buy a product. So that was my first stage of getting rejection and being accepted at the same time.
So that is what I was going to ask you, because at that age, whether you are male or female, nobody like both. We don't like embarrassment. In fact, a lot of us fear starting new things or trying to, discover new things because we are afraid of what that could potentially look like. And I think we had someone on the show last season named Sophronia who said one of the first jobs she got was a door-to-door salesman. And she said the amount of boof I know that she got, she said she really was, it was a frustrating but a rewarding experience. How did you, even at that age, not take rejection personally?
Well,
and what did you learn from that rejection?
Well, kudos to my parents and teach me to have manners,
Good start.
So it humbled me. And funny thing, I'm the type of person that I take a bad situation and make it better. So when I encounter a no, I was like, all right, probably I need to say it this way when I'm approaching them. And every time I tweak it, I get a better response. So it was actually a good learning experience. Some people go to schools, courses to learn how to do sales. I did it hands-on and learned as I was going.
And I feel like if you can deal with Jamaican people, I feel like if you can knock on a Jamaican door and have that conversation and get them to stop, listen, like you, trust you, buy from you, I think that you've literally hit the jackpot. So you are going door to door.
Yeah, man.
You still have books in your bag? I just want to know if you still carry the books or it's just a product.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
B plus A student.
All right. Yeah. That's nice.
Even the teachers.
Used to be your customers?
After when school finished, because I don't want to get in the trouble. So, yeah. As I said, I matured before time, so pretty much know how to handle myself and communicate with others.
Yeah.
Even at that young age.
And what about your friends? And so high school can be very weird. It depends on which high school you go to, depends on your cohort, depends on the culture and the socialization that takes place at school. And a lot of the times we are afraid of how people might perceive us. So you have persons who may have grown up, in impoverished situations and they don't want anybody to know. So, they try to cover it. How did you position how did your students, your fellow students respond and react to you as the business person you were?
Very supportive. I started off with products that everybody liked and wanted.
Yes.
So it was like a no-brainer. I pretty much, I just know how to test the market, I'm always jovial, so I'm easily approachable. I'm actually can approach anybody to lighten the mood and stuff and encourage you to, act on impulse if I need a purchase from you.
So then what was your desire? So you're going through high school. Most of us, as soon as we're kind of getting ready to usher out high school, we start to figure out, okay, this is what we want to do. Considering your great entrepreneurial spirit and your ability to not just market but sell, do we just assume that that is what you decided to study?
Well, honestly, when I was getting so good at it, in my mind, I wanted to just go straight out, full on in my entrepreneurial journey. But my dad was like, you have to go sixth form, you know. You have to go college, you know. You know, work so hard for you, know, go them things there. I was like, all right. I have to do it for him. It wasn't really for me, but I saw it afterwards, why he wanted me to go through those stages. And honestly, I could tell, like, at that point, like that early age, I really felt I didn't need any other schooling. I just felt I just needed the opportunity to just go
To
there.
boss way.
Because I've gotten so used to making something out of nothing. And then during that period, I experienced what people call in business changes. So I started out with candy. Back then, candy, they make the money.
Yeah.
Then the body products. Body products, they make the money. But I want to
with
sell
candy.
candy. Imagine upon that. Then when the client said, all right, man, I have every cent now, what next? And then we start bringing underwears. That's where I got the name Mr. Secrets, because I was bringing Victoria's Secrets bras and undies.
Hold on.
Yeah, man, I could look at a lady and tell her her bra size right off the bat. A lot of ladies didn't even know their bra sizes.
And this is while you're still in school?
Still in school.
So you elevate the thing to the point where, wow.
Yeah, so it was growing at such a fast pace. I was building up my confidence to say, like, all right, money used to make on that, but this is what money is being made on now. So that is why I personally wanted to go all in. So by the time I was to go off to UTech...
And you never feel no way?
No, man.
And the only reason why I ask this is because, well, first of all, I grew up in Portmore, like 28 years of my life. Big up Portmore, for sure, every day, all day. And I was accustomed to shopping downtown. That's where my mother would take me, and that is where we shop. Going all the way from prep school, high school, into college. That's where we go uselessly. You know, you try and make your money stretch. And one of the most innovative marketing geniuses I've ever seen were the guys who were on the handcart selling brassiere and nobody can sell like them. And there is this very weird relationship that we have socially with masculinity. Because socially and culturally, we have defined masculinity to be a certain thing, to look a certain way, and man. And I think in high school is where a lot of boys in particular try and... And so for me, it was how are you able to navigate such delicate spaces without becoming labeled as something negative?
Well, that was a year of concern, like when I transitioned, like over to college.
Concern for who you are?
Not for me, because I was always looking at, there's this rush that comes from making something out of nothing. So even those same clientele that told me they have all the sense, they're the same one that said, all right, I have every color bra now and thing, like, what next? And I took upon myself to go find where the outlets are in the States. Like, I've never been there before. Those days, they not even have GPS. You have to print off a direction from map, because if you ever miss a turn, dog never supper. So I would drive for hours to, like, Pennsylvania, the outlets there, to Jersey. Like, just go and say, from a seat, but no say it I got good. So nobody gave me a blueprint, anything. So I took that leap, went, bought up those stuff, brought them back, and when they were well received, I knew I had a knack for something.
Right, but what about the concern that you had?
The concern was when you buck up on, like, a mail, and the mail would say, oh, you're in a fashion business. Like, them a give that eye, and I say, oh, I have that bad guess. Like, I guess the whole I respond, it nullified same time. I say, oh, him no one of them. Him all right. Yeah.
And that is how you're able to navigate.
Yeah, because you see, traveling, you get exposed to individuals like that. Like, even at the cash register and stuff. And I don't let that be a barrier or hindrance to what I'm there for. I'm there to enhance my business, to take my business further. So, like, I'm a people person. So It wasn't an issue for me. For those who was an issue for, it got nullified real quick. And because during that time, no, I was not even Amazon did bad like me. No, man, tell you, Amazon you order now, you might get it tomorrow 2 day time.
But if you say
call me, and I'll be selling up to like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Because I had this system, most of my clients, I sold them on credit. So the first 2 weeks, you get the goods to pay by the end of the month.
Yes.
I leave, well, a week, pack, ship off, then I come back, I collect. By the time I finish collect, the new stuff come. So new stuff come and people pay them bill. They became so addicted, like as Milan, them want the new stuff. So I was always in work mode.
So is this what inspired or instructed you in terms of what you would pursue?
Yeah, because even when I was leaving UTech, one of the professors, she lined up a job for me. And I said, out of respect, I'll go. And I did the interview. And during the interview, they said, how much you would like for your salary? I gave them a nice fat figure because that was what I was earning. You know? And they was like, don't think we're able to pay you that. I said, that's what you think. If you have me on your team, you'll be able to pay me that. And they was like, how you plan on doing that? And like, I just gave them a scenario. It was for a credit union.
Yes.
I would make them the money. And they were like, what? But then I had to let them down easy. I said, I would recommend it to a fellow classmate of mine because I want to go all out in what I'm doing. And I said, I really don't get it. You're going to get the job. And you don't want
You're passing it on.
Yeah, Mr. Because I want my job. I believe in what I'm doing and I just want to take it further.
What did you pursue in UTech?
Marketing. Yeah.
And that was your love?
That was, yeah, definitely my love.
So you pass it on.
Yeah.
And you say you're going to do your own thing. How long did you do that? Because, you know, I am sitting on here like many people because I want to know the redirection that happened for you to end up
in catering.
In catering, because it's just like from Victoria's Secrets to, all right.
Oh, you're taking me down memory lane now. So I went all in. Like, I never worked a 9 to 5 yet, you know. Wow. It was one time, it was a summer job when I was in high school at New Line Motors. And that was one of the doors I knocked on.
Yes.
And they just liked my vibes and it gave me an opportunity. Big up to the Benjamins back then. But I just always knew, you see, once you can make something out of nothing, it's like there's no limit. You just want breathing room to develop.
Has anything ever happened, or as you're traversing the different markets, right? You're getting the different ideas and you're innovating and you're creating and you're carving out your space and you're building out your clientele. Was there ever a moment in business where you doubted yourself, where you felt like you weren't as limitless or as invincible in this thing that you found to be so natural?
No, but there was a period where health became a factor. Because remember now, I'm like an army of one back then. And I had this vision, because I operate a mobile clothing store, I had this vision, you know what? I got set up a truck back. I set up inside it like a store. So once I park up, you just walk in and it would, in there would look like a clothing, like really beautiful. Like you'll never experience anything. So it was about the experience now and stuff. And because at first, I saw a trailer hitch. One time I was driving state to shop. I saw a trailer hitch. This place that sold trailer hitches.
Yes.
And I turned off the highway. And when I went there, and the guys showed me how inside, they must set it up and customize lighting, shelf, everything. Like,
this nice. Yeah.
This more being a Jamaica, because when I drive my van, I feel lift up tub and I'm going at this and this is it. So I made up my mind, say, this is what I wanted. Even upgrade my driver's license, come say, yeah, one driver, any big vehicle with it. And that was what I wanted first. But then when I looked at motor, because I do male and female clothing.
Yes.
Like this still small. So I wanted the truck. So in 2008, that's when I said, you know what? I'm going to go all in. I hustled so hard. I was even one of the first informal, what do you call it now? Business people.
Yes.
In my little van back, I was the first one to get the mobile swipe machine.
Kidding.
Because I believe so much in my business. I registered my business. I got the swipe machine from NCB. And because I was always thinking miles ahead.
Right. What next?
So like when you come to the truck, I don't really want to be handling any cash for security reasons. So I just wanted to have that feel. Anybody want to offer credit to, them can pay me a bank account or whatever. So I worked so hard that year to raise up the money to buy the truck and stuff. But in doing so, I overworked myself. Yes. So I lost the ability to go to sleep naturally.
Wow.
So 15 minutes a day was the most I was able to sleep.
No way, sir.
So that took me off the scene for a year and a half, like totally missing. So I was on verge to expand my business and then fell ill. And during that time, I didn't even know what was happening to me.
So, that was going. So my question to you was this one of these things that you even noticed? Because I know, especially if, you're really hustling, you have a goal, you have a target. A lot of times our health is failing us, but we're so focused, laser focused, that we don't notice. I was going to ask you, did you even realize that you started to have insomnia? Like, did you realize you stopped?
It creeped up
sleeping?
in a unnoticeable way. So it started like with acid reflux. You'll be belching often when you eat or you drink something and you're getting less and less sleep. But because you're in the mode of going, like, I have to do this. If I don't do it, it's not going to get done. You overlook it. So when it hits hard now, you think of it as a regular. So you just want to get your rest.
And then you bounce back.
But it wasn't bouncing back. It took me several doctors till I found my sister found the right psychiatrist. And he said a chemical imbalance with like this chemical, serotonin, I believe, that makes your body goes to sleep naturally. So remember now, like little over a year I was off the scene. And then I met this doctor now, the one that actually made sense. And him said, you ever got up on meds for about a year? I was like, 1 more year, doc. I can't do that. And he was like, well, if you don't fix yourself now, you're going to be worse than how you came in this door.
You're going to lose everything.
I said, I believe in what you say. So it was Easter time, I think April of 2010, I started meds. And by I think June, I was fully back up and running.
And you were sleeping.
Yeah,
and you were resting.
Gosh, like, yeah.
What's your advice? Because a lot of the times you will see different people and different things, different strokes for different folks.
Yes.
Not everything works for everybody, but there is a particular core message that comes out through all things, that even when you love what you're doing and it is profitable,
yes,
and the margins are great, you only have one life. And burnout is real.
You're very real.
What advice do you have for budding entrepreneurs, people who are people who've been in it, people who are hustling, in terms of not losing sight of you?
The best advice, you have to make space for me time. You just have to. If it even means like just streaming and watching some shows, going to the beach, chill, part some friends, play some domino, you have to make some me time. I didn't respect me time back then. I was just like, I forget this done because it needs. So because you get in that mode, you have to do this, nobody else can do it. That's when the burnout is gonna come.
What happened to the business? You're off the scene. We understand that, people come up, you have your clients probably loyal, but a year is a year. Did you ever fear coming back to the market and possibly not having the impact that you had before? Like, what were some of the things that you had to adjust and deal with coming back?
Well, the clients, them loyal.
Lovely.
The issue wasn't the clientele. The issue was my health. So much to the point that when I did come back, I didn't go mobile again. I opened up a brick and mortar, which I detested, but because I didn't want a real lapse of a burnout, I opened up a brick and mortar, and I call it Shh Boutique.
Shh.
Yeah, we're the best. Because you see, before then I was
Secret.
Mr. Secret.
Yes.
So I wanted a name that when I put it out there, people can, oh, really? Mr. Secret's open a store in your Shh Boutique. So it have
It
a
made
story
sense.
behind it, right? So that's why I ventured into the brick and mortar.
Yes.
I gave it my very best shot, but when you think, it's like when you're down and you're coming up, life comes at you. So that particular year, 2010, was when, December 2010, I opened the store.
Yes.
And in February, when I went to renew my visa, after 3 days of going back and forth, it got denied. I was like, what is father?
What kind of utter clubs? What kind of crosses, as we would say? What kind of crosses?
It's like I missed out so much. I mean, I come now for rebuild, and bam, I was hit with that. But you know, funny thing, yo, when you live good with people,
Yes.
it pays off. So even though I wasn't able to travel, my suppliers, they were taking pictures and videos, sending to me. My friends, they were driving to the outlets, buying and packing
So
and
cool.
shipping off. Like, they kept me afloat. As much as I was shopping blind, they kept me afloat. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make them know, say, I'm real things. So I'm going to start put billboards all over the place.
Yes.
I advertise a lot and in the newspaper. Went again, got denied. The same year, and I was like, what this, man? But I was not giving up. I was like, this is my livelihood, you know? And by some strange ways, God work in miraculous
Yes,
ways.
correct.
So it was a client who I've never met before. When I was at my first location, to show you, my visa turned down, I even get a bigger location, move from Chartered Road to Phoenix Avenue. So she met me at Chartered Road. I was like, I remember you telling me that you could buy bras and stuff. I was like, I mean, you have to do that to that because you don't have a visa. And she said, what? And then I told her what had happened. She was like, you're kidding me. I was like, no kidding. And I don't know who she talked to or whatever. She contacted
God
me.
is good.
Contacted me the following week. I was like, you know, somebody spoke to the consul general at the embassy and they just like to meet you, to hear what you have to say. And I went there with bag and pan and briefcase and all
You
kind of
document.
things. And they was like, no, man, just talk. And I spoke the truth. And they say, okay. And long story short, I got it back. So it was such a journey. The only thing was like, what else am I for do? But just come back from being sick, just start up a new business, and I get this unnecessary fight. Me just want
Yeah.
push out there.
You know what I think it is? And I mean, clearly I could be wrong. So the dot that I'm connecting or what I am taking from your story is, earlier you said that you were a one-man army.
Mm-hmm.
You were doing everything. You were head cook, buckle washer. You were the seller, the marketer, the buyer, the supplier, the merchandiser, everything.
Everything.
And then you realize that your health came at a risk of being an army of one. And even when you came back and you're doing all of these things to adjust, to really facilitate this livelihood, you're still really an army of one. And it was you not having your visa or not getting back your visa that really allowed you to lean. You were forced to lean on other people.
Yes.
You were forced to take advantage of the village that was probably always around you. But when you think that is only you, you're sometimes just blinded to the people who will do everything for you. And I think in that moment, as you said, you're able to move from one location to go to another, not because you were doing it yourself, but because people and your suppliers and your relationships were there to show you that your support was there. But if you never get that boof, if you never get that rejection, then you'd still be thinking you're a one-man army. And I think that moment was necessary for people to step up and to show you that, you're not in this alone.
Yeah, man. Like, I've learned so many valuable lessons from my
Right.
experiences. That's why I tell you, I always applied, I call it now the MacGyver rule
Yes.
to my life. And like, if any bad situation I encounter, I said there must be a good in it.
Yeah.
Right.
But then that is retail. That's brick and mortar. That is
Right.
moving into a bigger space, nicer location. But you're a chef. Like, well, actually, I
Yeah,
heard that you said that you are the chef that doesn't cook.
Cook.
That's literally what I say in your bio. The chef that does not cook.
that
Couldn't cook.
Yeah.
So talk to me now about you, this vision, boutique. You're doing well. You're expanding. You're actually actualizing the dream.
Right.
How we end up here, sir?
All right. So when I was able to get back the visa, in business, you're in business to make profits.
Yes.
So you see, if I was able to travel, I could be buying stuff at better margin, negotiating better prices, so I could be more profitable. So wheels were in motion already, and I had to be shopping blindly. So over time, if you're not making the margins and your
Yes.
operation cost is at a certain amount,
Yes.
it's not gonna
You're
matter,
losing.
right? So I was in the business of you have to have products to sell in order to make money. And being that I moved again after that. And like I said, brick and mortar, different than
It's
mobile.
expensive.
Mobile. When I was doing at my mobile store, once I turn that key, I know who I'm going to, I know how much money I'm going to be making. Minimum. The brick and mortar, you have to be like, that do it. You don't know.
And no matter who are coming, you have to pay the same
The
money.
sale is not guaranteed. So, and then at times I felt like my true potential not showing because like me, I wait for somebody to come shop. I'm used to going and getting it.
Correct.
So I made a decision that I wanted to come out of brick and mortar. I did so in 2014. And when I did come out of it, at that time I had my daughter, still had to be responsible.
Yes.
I was like, what to do now?
How did you manage that? How did you manage those emotions as provider, protector, your father? You're also somebody who's been accustomed to good margins and figuring it out and it working out. How did you manage to
Yeah.
confront, disappointment?
Well, I read books during that time.
That's why you're
traveling.
looking at my bookshelf.
Yeah. Like, so Rich Dad Poor Dad was one of the first books. And then they had this book about peaks and valleys.
Yes.
So from early out, I was used to that. You have a wave, and then you will have a dip. But then what I know I always have the potential to make something out of nothing.
Cooler
Like,
man, MacGyver,
like
cooler
I just
man.
know me have that in me. So at no point in time, not having a business was a down killer for me. At no point in time. But I wanted to go back to the truck concept.
Yes.
Man. But remember now I'm broke. So, but not because you're broke, no mean you can't do things.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you the reason why. So, I realized I needed people to invest in me.
Yes.
One thing we can tell you just lock down a business, investor confidence is not so good, You understand? But there were a few who believed, so I knew that I needed the truck.
Yes.
I needed a line of credit. So a friend of mine, she was able to give me like this credit card. If needed, I tell her, don't open it, but if needed, it don't really have no limit. I told her that 6 months tops, me don't need your card. Based on how me know I can flip money.
Yes.
But then the bulk of the money was to get the truck and retrofit it. Now, approach investors. Because you just closing store.
You can't prove to me. You can't trick me, basically.
And then what it really needs is everybody to come on board at once. So if they weren't coming on board at once, it wasn't going to happen. But that I written as such like that plan was. Because remember now, I have ton load of experience and knowledge in this business, And I wrote such a beautiful plan, like the money would have guaranteed. And like as a backup, I never tell them at the time, but I can't talk it now. But I gotta take out a life insurance policy because I think around them time that one plane they go missing at the sky. I don't know if you remember that thing. Yeah, I'll know them not find a plane there. So I was like, boy, if anything should happen to me, would I want them can get back their money plus interest. I'm done talk to my lawyer, insurance agent, say, when I'm ready for do this is how I want to do. If anything happen to me, you gotta pay XXX.
Nice.
This. But you can't tell people you take out life insurance, it'll kill you. You understand? But that was my fail-safe for sure. Say, oh, I believe so much in what I do, but
yes.
if anything happen,
it's a fail-safe. Yeah.
And my sister, which she was the person that found the doctor for me that year.
Yes.
And I remember I'm going to her and I said, I was always mumbling, I want to start this business and like people don't believe so I can't do what I know and that frustrated me to that point. And she said something very simple yet powerful to me. And this is where my redirection is gonna come from now. She said, right now, my little brother, you're in the rapids of a river. No matter how good or strong you can swim, you cannot go against the current. Just go with the flow. And when you reach the calm part of the river, you swim as far, fast, and wide. And when she said that to me, honest, that day, I never look back on the clothes business. We just wash me and clean of it. I love it going to bed, you know. I wash me and clean of it.
And you were at peace.
At peace. And funnily enough, my daughter, when I drop her to school, because them time I live up Stone Hill. And she went to school at RJR Basic School.
Yes.
So when I drop her at school, instead of a drive all the way up, I just stay around my virgin parts place, my Aggie Park Road. And one day, my brother did come to him and say, oh, birthday I come up now, I'm going to order up some fish and thing and rare. Or cook and invite and eat some people. I said, all right. No, I was a spectator, you know. And when I look and I see how much people come and eat and drink, I said, what? So I was like...
You start calculate.
I said to my bedroom, no, I can't use your parking lot. Because I think they have good seafood and jerky in Kingston, you know. I said, yes, man, my place is your place, man. No, they had gotten a chef to come. I'm going to show you. I'm show you the redirection now. I'm going to show you how my brain design. I was like... Remember now, you know, I want to start about my clothing business, what I know. And they do, I think it must be like 60,000 US, like for the truck and thing, everything. Right? I want money to do what I want to do, right? You see this pop-up kitchen? $0. I just go to the chef and I say, chef, I want you give me, I ask him, I tell him, I want you give me food Friday, I'm going to pay you Saturday. I'm going to find one lady with the consignment liquor. More you give me liquor Friday, I'm going to pay you Saturday. And them say, all right. And that's how Surf and Turf Friday started.
You are kidding me.
Kid you not, so. $0. I don't know nothing about catering, but just know I know for manage people and make money. So, now tell a line, a couple Friday night, my fridge I got full up. And everything did sell out. But I sell enough for pay back who I take them things from. So that was a good thing. So when I say if a Friday come and my fridge full up, I figure out how to tweak my menu and thing. And by tweaking it and offering delivery and thing, I got to make a buzz on the scene. Watch the redirection, I come even further now. So couple months pass and my virgin say, yo, I got migrate, you know. I forgot look it over, so. I say, all right, yeah, man, I support him and thing. And then the landlord come right after him and say, you know, and him gone in here for do this thing here, so, you know. I said, okay, if you find a spot. And while looking for a spot, one of the regulars them contact me out of the blue. That person never contact me yet and say,
God is good.
Show your God work. And him say, yo, boss, I keep three meetings in week after next, you know. You look catering, right? Now I want some food and thing. I say, yes, man. From my food, I do it. I want to do that, man.
Whether you have catering or no catering.
I did for fun. So now, I link a catering client of mine from the clothing business. He send me a template now. And him send me a template and I tweak it up. And I just put my touch on it. Now, at this time, here's the beautiful thing about this thing. I know my head not tough, you know. When I order the food, I have to go and pick it up. I'm there at the kitchen. And I observe, so I learn and see how them do, prepare certain meals and things. So
Yes.
I'm used to that week after week after week after week. So when I sent the quotation and stuff, shortly after, a friend called me and said, oh, my boss like it, you know. Oh, you want to get paid? Cash, check, bank transfer. I was like, where's that while ago? I said, yeah. I'm say, so I get paid before I cook.
Even
I don't want a location again.
Because now you realize, I think now you realize the possibilities. You realize the not just the possibilities in terms of margin, but how many people you can serve, what the cash flow can look like, and how you can plan without having brick and mortar.
So that was such a beautiful opportunity for me because I was used to cooking the food and trying to sell it.
Yes.
And thought that was the only way. That one moment
Was a light bulb.
Light bulb moment. And you see, because it was a corporate clientele, I had to register a company. So in order for me to get that money there, I go company's office and I say, Surf and Turf Fridays. I was like, no, I can't get that name there. Catering consultant. Look if you have it. I just say, yeah, man. I say, boy, the name long, but guess what? No? Surf and Turf Fridays, catering consultant. I'm in business. So I register a business. I don't have a stove, pot, spoon, nothing. I'm a registered catering business. Just to show you the mindset I have. So I registered a catering business, did that first gig, and when I see the money lick the account, I was like, I hit this. This
We get
is
the
it.
truck, the mobile truck, the retrofitted truck.
Hit this. And that has been such a beautiful journey. Cause remember, I'm not ashamed for that. I never know for cook nothing. Nothing at all. So, while waiting now, you see, the more you do business now, what I learned portions, like
Yes.
how much pound of chicken can give you what.
Correct.
I learned all that need to know info behind the scenes. Because even when putting in my orders, I have to know how to tell them so that, yeah.
Correct. You want to cut down on your wastage and spending and your loss. You really don't want loss.
So, while doing it now, and this is the thing, you have to learn in business. Sometimes you start off and you're doing something good at work, there's always room for improvement. So, I remember my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, said to me, say, how things are going in your business? I said, good enough. I want chef, my work, man, prepare the meals and stuff and things. I said, so what if that chef, they decide, say, no, I want to cook for you? I said, no, man, I'm the man good, man. Long time in a business and
we're lucky.
Me give me money and the man say, what if that chef, they decide, say, no, I want to cook for you?
Yeah.
And like when him say it to me, I couldn't even sleep good the night. And I said, for real.
What's your backup plan?
So, I go Priceless, I'm buy one 10 by 10 tent. I'm screen it. I'm say, all right, I'm not give him fritters. Me can cook fritters. I'm go on YouTube or I go around chef or I start pay keen attention to service. And I said, no, I can't do wings. So, more and more I start do things on my own and I see me I get more money. And I say, all right, buy one stove and I buy my little equipment them. Then I say, all right, I want to cook more. I buy a bigger tent, a 10 by 20 tent now. Start cooking more and more things underneath it. So till when COVID came around.
Yes, that would have been 2020.
2020, right. Now, I had planned to build out my kitchen, but I do it in stages.
Little.
Yeah, because I don't want to tie up all of my money, so. Buy my container, because like, I'm a vision, I know how every equipment I got to be placed in the container still. And there's one thing we have to do. It hurt my heart to this date. I got hurt your heart too. But I have to cut down my East Indian mango tree
No.
to drop the container.
No.
But only two, my
No,
two neighbors them have East Indian mango tree.
No.
But I tell you, all the tree cry
That
when
hurt
it
my
get cut.
heart.
Yes, but I saw a vision of what I wanted. And I work with what I have. And me believe in a ownership. So me not rent nowhere, lease nowhere.
Your work to own.
Yeah, work to own. I believe in that because I did the landlord thing and only one landlord me did have as a good landlord. Big up Ligor. But other than that, bad experience. So that
And you have no guarantees.
No.
If you don't own something, you don't know what tomorrow brings. You don't know what a landlord might tell you
just like
in 6
what
months.
my brother-in-law said, what if that
What
person
happens?
don't want to?
Correct.
So 2020, full of free time. Drop the container, widen it, built out a beautiful commercial kitchen. So right now I cook everything. And it was, what do I call it now? It was my testing ground.
Yes.
I have chefs some I couldn't call upon. But during 2020 now and Jamaica slope and thing and same brethren of migrate a foreign. Man say, your birthday I come up you know. Now when you come and thing, I say, yo, nah money them ways there, you know. A man say, no, you don't understand me, I tell him. When you come up and cook for me. Now watch this now, you know. And me alone didn't know so I can't cook, I'm a chef then. Everybody else say me think say, yo, nerd can cook. Man, I said this man fly me up to come cook with me birthday. Papa Jesus, that's how I get myself, you know. But I challenge myself.
Yes.
Send him the menu, talk with my chef them, and just go back to basics. And you know, there's this thing. Any meal that I prepare for the first time,
Yes.
it tastes damn good. No lie, no. I tell you, like, even I'm so amazed, like, how me do that? And I had butterflies in my belly. That was like my true testing, you know,
Yes.
going to cook internationally. No support staff, just me one. And I was like, whew.
Yes.
But I have the supplies, I'm say, I'm going to do this. And watch this now with me with my enough self. I call up one of my sister now used to live side of me. She had a sister them. I say, oh, yo, me in your backyard of Florida. This was a Saturday for my birthday. I'm telling somebody there I cook for him birthday and thing. I can check on it tomorrow. And I say, check it tomorrow. I go cook with Sunday dinner. I was like,
No, it's true. Well, I think that's a blessing and a curse because if you are a chef, people just always expect you to cook. And so to even be honest, when he came on the set and the crew starts speaking to him and they're finding out because he changes into his shirt and you know it have surf and turf, the crew is like, so you really come a concept studio and you know bring nothing? Tony, who is signing right now, say where the samples, make we taste like a thing, with the knife and the food in the car. People expect you
Yes.
to always walk with food, which you will do at some point in time when you come back to the commercial concept studio.
Most definitely. So that moment was a defining moment that it
Yes.
gave me confidence.
Yes.
It challenged me, and I'm never one to back from a challenge. I was like, all right, if we're going to do this, we do it good and done. And as much as it seemed like the odds were against me to perform and execute,
You're Mr. MacGyver.
I was so cool and calm and composed, like it just turned out well. So I was put on the spot for his birthday, put on the spot for my friend's Sunday dinner.
And you just kept on getting better and better.
And funny thing, you know, because I am the business-minded person. So as much as I run in the catering business, I have people who are good at what they do. I manage them. So I place my talent and emphasis and bring it in the business. So it's not like someone never want to cook. But like my talent was useful in other areas of the business, working on my business than in the business. So,
and you know that's the hallmark of a good leader, right? The hallmark of a good leader is to, even if this leader can do everything, the hallmark of a leader is to understand all the strengths, but understand what the priority and the bigger picture is. And if it means outsourcing or bringing in talent, recruiting talent that can take care of the other things and focusing on what you know you can do very well, then it works out for the greater good.
Yeah, man. So I got the knack for it. I said, I can do this. And I just keep pushing myself. And it has been such a journey. Like, I can give you this funny story. Hits home every time. I remember this client, when she booked me and she was confirming me, she had a vegetable. And she said, for the vegetable, I wanted to do them julienne. I was like, what that mean?
What that mean?
So I see me up on my phone. Oh, you mean to cut them in thin strips? Yes. I prepared them like that for you. I was like,
but isn't that what life is?
yes. So it challenged me, like, from that one experience, I place emphasis on learning the jargons, learning things about the catering world to be more experienced in it and stuff now.
And look at you 4 years later.
Man.
You have clients, you have big clients, you have corporate clients, you have international clients.
Yeah, one of my niche that I really love, catering for destination weddings.
Yes.
So these are individuals who, they don't know me, but they put in all the trust in me.
Yes.
To execute on their wedding day. You get one shot, one kill. So because of that dynamic, I always bring my A game. So it will spill over if I'm
Other
doing
areas.
for other areas, but because you only have one shot, it's like going live in your world.
Yes.
One shot, one kill. So you have to bring your A game every day, all day. And it's amazing when I look back over the years, I was like,
see where you're coming from.
What? Yeah, it has been a beautiful journey.
You must be proud. And, the thing is that what I enjoy about these conversations is that, like, no two stories are alike. Everybody have a redirection. Everybody have a rejection. Everybody have a moment where they're just like, yo, Father God, what this pooper? And a lot of us believe that we have to always be qualified before we step into rooms. And sometimes we have to step into the room and then learn on the job to become qualified. When you think about all the moments that you've experienced as Little Durren, Big Durren, retailer, chef, caterer, what's your most priceless moment?
Different than having my daughter and my son.
So you see that in? We always ask them one priceless moment and you hear them a sneaking, one of them sneaking too. Yes, okay, outside of fathering them, yes.
Let me think.
Your most priceless moment.
My most priceless moment. I would have to say learning to cook. Because right choice of words, no. You see, from the onset, it was about business, making the money, doing that. But when I learned how to cook, it's like I honed the craft. It's like that I got stay with me forever. And no matter where in the world I go,
yes,
I have that raw talent there and can just, in my right stage now, make something out of nothing. So that I would have to say, because if you had asked me before if I was gonna do catering or be in that field, I would have flat out right said, no, sir, I don't know nothing about that. There would have been no interest there. I wouldn't have invested in anything like that. And to look where I'm coming from, was satisfied with doing 1 day per week to earn money, just only on the Friday. And my friends and brother say, yo, I go look at 9 to 5, my youth.
Yeah.
And I say, for what? Because if I do a 9 to 5, I still got to think about what I want to do.
Correct.
And I was still content with that. 1 day per week to earn. And just to see where that 1 day
has turned.
Yeah, I was so humble and contented. Some people them just want money fast or things are so this thing go. But just from every time I think back, like, yo, look what me really I come from and what
And
me
cooking,
can do.
and learning, taking the time to cook facilitated that.
Yeah.
Since you've been speaking, my final question to you, you mentioned redirection. You said, boy, Terry, this is when I was redirecting and another redirection happened, you know. You've experienced it not once, not twice, 3 times. What is your definition of redirection?
My definition is life is going to come at you in stages of ups and downs. And once you have life, make the best of it. Like, I pride myself in wearing nothing but Nikes just because of Nike motto. Just do it. Just do it. So, every time when I was down, there was something inside of me say, oh, you gotta make something. You gotta make something happen. Even if I couldn't see it at that time, tell myself so. As much as I was faced with not having a visa when it was turned down, I say, I'm gonna make something happen. It dawned me in the sense that I'm alive with this, but I never give up. My next door, I add on the radio, I still push it because I believe in it. Even when I came out of the clothing business, I wanted to go back in it and kept getting rejected. I was like, I'm still going to make something happen. Don't know yet, but I know something. I'm going to do something. And then bams, into the catering. I was like, from that person called me and gave me the green light. Say, yo, how you want to get paid? And the light bulb go off.
That was it.
This where I'm at now, it's like I couldn't see it back then, but not like me in this exact certain. So it doesn't know say, yo, me get this, me go run with it. So redirection comes in a form of once you have life. My mother always say, when you're dead, no dash it away. You just do it.
Even
just
if you don't understand it.
Yeah. You just have a little bit of I can inside of you for push you and just put your touch on it as you're going along in your journey. And it feels so good because for know you believe in yourself that much, and then when you look back at your journey
and you see what you've manifested,
right, it's like, that is it.
Well, Chef, let me tell you something. You owe the crew some surf and turf. But see, Tony,
that's a guarantee.
You owe the crew. But we're really proud of you. And I think stories like yours need to be heard because there's somebody watching or listening who right now feel like Jano Star. The barriers. And maybe it will be your story that tells them, just do it.
Just do it.
No, you can. I thank you for my East Indian mango. Don't cut down no more East Indian trees. No. Thank you so very much for taking the time. And it was Rishima, no? It was Rich. Yo, you're like, no, I told you that at the end of the show, I would tell you who recommended you. It was Rashima who messaged us and said, yo, this youth, you need to hear his story because it is a redirection story. So make sure that whenever you treat her to a plate of food, you invite all of the crew to come over. There you go.
Gosh.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Redirection with Terri-Karelle. And of course, if you ever feel for some good food, you know somebody who have a destination wedding, you have something corporate, you know, and you're looking for a nice menu and you're looking for somebody who took the time to hone the skills to be a top chef, well, you know, Surf and Turf is right here, Surf and Turf Catering. And we can find you on social media and all of these places, right?
Yes.
And we're going to sample the food as well, so you understand. Go ahead, like, share, comment. If you are listening across your podcast platforms, go ahead, leave us a ratings. Let us know how you felt about the episode. And certainly if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Don't be stingy. Until I see you next week, thank you for making it Redirection with Terri-Karelle Season 3. Thank you to our partners, MasterCard, Heineken 00, Toyota Jamaica, Commercial Concepts, Spaces Jamaica, FHC Credit Union, Beauty Brands by MDS, Go Shore Couriers, and Brescia.